Welcome back to Bound by Flame on the Captain difficulty. What, will I become the captain of the company? Maybe. In the Black Company series, the guy who was the point of view character, so to speak, did become the captain eventually. And if you're pissed off that I'm spoiling the Black Company series, I bet most of you have no interest in reading it anyway, so sorry. So actually, I'm not gonna make any excuses for that. I could sleep if I so desired, but instead... No, actually wait, going to talk with the elf, first and foremost.
Vulcan, you must help me. The prince is dying.
Well, I'm happy to see that my talents as a doctor are finally being recognized.
There's no doubt an explosion would cure him of all his ills forever. But I was actually thinking about your connections with the Red Scribes. If you could speak to them, it would save me having the prince's death on my conscience.
I wouldn't exactly call myself a friend of theirs. But yeah, I can always give it a try. So is the prince doing any better?
He is still in a coma. He doesn't seem much better, no.
I'm going to talk with the Red Scribes, Doctor. He might know of a cure.
Thank you.
Let's change the subject. I have a few questions I need to ask you. Elves are pretty rare. I haven't had the chance to talk to many. Can you tell me more about you people?
We are born in the trees, eat only seeds, and we spend all the livelong days singing.
I get the feeling you're fucking with me.
Perish the thought. Well, it's just that we aren't that different from you humans, despite what one hears. Our civilization is obviously a bit older, so we have had the time to learn from our mistakes. We don't really live in the same rhythm as you do. We move a little slower, and most of us are prone to having at least some respect for the past. This is the reason why we never destroy anything, that we prefer to build on top of things.
I've heard that you are immortal.
That joke has lived for 15 generations. I will never get tired of it. No, we're not immortal. We live long lives, though. Much longer than you. We are resistant to poisons, rotten food, and toxic body odor, apparently. Unfortunately, these things do not make us immortal.
Don't elves ever make war?
That's an impression we like to give other people. The fact is, we do go to war, just never against each other. You must understand that, given our long lifetimes, battles are fairly futile. This may well be what has motivated the choices of our king concerning the Ice Lords. But we certainly know how to fight, and you'll see proof of that soon enough.
So it's the prince who gives the orders?
The word orders may not be the best one. We do not submit nor obey easily. Our kings are a reference, wise men who can point out the way. They tend to guide us rather than give us orders. But to answer your question, it is his father the king who is the leader of our people.
You seem different from the other elves I've met. Where are you from?
Really? I seem different. And yet I have such pointy ears. And if you really want to know, I actually come from one of the most ancient and noble houses that exists. I'm even linked to the royal family. But I can assure you that I'm sufficiently far down the line of succession to be in no danger of being crowned. And my reputation is no help either.
As far as bad reputations go, every mercenary has got one, so we're used to it.
Let's just say that I got into enough trouble to eventually be considered a traitor to my people. When I got involved in the war, I disagreed with decisions made by the king. He thought that this war, like so many others, would not last. That the conquests won by the Ice Lords would melt away like all the human victories before them had. But I thought differently. Right from the start of hostilities, I began to requisition certain resources I felt necessary for those doing the fighting. More food, more weapons, better armor. When my people discovered what I'd done, I was declared an outlaw, and many saw me as a thief, which, in a manner of speaking, I guess I was.
What a bunch of cowards. If they had listened to you, we wouldn't be in this mess.
I've been telling myself that for years. But I do understand their point of view. It is flawed, but not entirely thoughtless. They have had some time to prepare their forces and to learn the strengths and weaknesses of the Deadwalker army. This knowledge might allow us to turn the tide of the war, even if it does seem too little too late at this point.
Who is the elf in the healing house? Is he really your prince?
He is Prince Arundel, the son of our king and heir to the Elven crown. Therefore, yes, he is our king.
How the hell did he end up here?
Prince Arundel led a detachment of the Elven army sent to harass the Deadwalkers. And when he reached Bastion, he fell into an ambush. I got wind of this trap, but by the time I arrived, it was too late. When I caught up to the prince, he was already wounded, and most of his soldiers were dead. Those who survived covered our retreat.
To here?
Yes. The route to Carolthas was too dangerous. I knew about this village and felt that it would be secure for at least a little while. As soon as he gets better, we shall leave for Carolthas. The remainder of the human and elven armies are gathering there. That is where the final stage of the war will be played out.
Do you know these swamps?
I've been in this area long enough to have explored a fair amount of it, actually. The region is rather inhospitable, which I suppose is a good thing under the present circumstances.
A good thing? You're out of your mind.
These swamps are a labyrinth. The Deadwalker scouts will never be autonomous enough to find their way to the village by themselves.
That means we should be fairly safe for the moment. At least until a general or an ice lord comes to town.
Except that recently, there has been a change in these swamplands. And I must admit that I no longer feel safe at all.
What do you mean?
Something is affecting the swamplands, corrupting the vegetation and the animals. And I have no idea what it is. But anything that grows or lives here could become a threat, so I strongly recommend that you watch where you put your feet.
Let's change the subject. I need your expertise. Will you come with me?
Of course I will. Lead the way.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
See you later.
I thought that I perhaps could talk with her and get her to help me, but apparently not. Let's see.
Mercenary?
I need your help.
I need your help. I'll be going now.
Okay, so he's not the one I need to talk to. Let's see, maybe the leader? Perhaps it will be the leader. Okay.
I am busy, mercenary. Go do what you're getting paid for.
Oh, Selbun. Okay, let's talk with him. It's this guy.
Do you have any idea how to wake the elf prince up?
Unfortunately, I don't. I think I've tried just about every remedy I know, but nothing works.
You said just about. I'm guessing that's not by chance?
It's true. There's one formula I haven't tried yet. An extremely powerful solution that requires a certain ingredient to make. An ingredient I don't have.
What is it?
A very virulent poison secreted by the chrysalid queen. But be careful you don't mix them up with the ones you usually see. I wanted to go looking for them myself, but the villagers stopped me. They say they're really dangerous. It seems they can be found along the road we took to get here. And apparently, they only come out at night.
I'll get you some. I'll be going now.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
Can I have a look at your stock?
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
So are you getting on with the cure to wake up the prince?
Unfortunately, no. Without the poison I told you about, I can't make it.
I'm still looking for the Chrysalid Queen. I'll find some eventually.
Like I said, the villagers say that their territory is around the road we came here by, but they only come out at night.
I'll go look into it. I have some questions I'd like to ask you. Do you have any idea about what's happening to me?
I'm afraid I may not be able to help you. Your condition is more due to magic than medicine. Your symptoms remind me of certain mental illnesses, where the subject has the impression he hears voices in his head.
And do these nutcases throw fire and have eyes that burn from within too?
You'd be surprised at what they can do. But obviously you're not like them. That being the case, if you study them, you might find some answers. In particular, I'm thinking of the fact that most of these poor madmen end up giving free rein to the darkest side of their personalities. Make sure that doesn't happen to you.
Good advice, I guess.
I'll be going now.
As much as I like Sybil, this Elven Hunter probably will be very, very useful to me. Wrong place. Okay. So, cellar. Okay. Valvenar. Alright. And dormitories. Alright, let's get out and into the village. So be it. Valvenar. Well, there's a bunch of things I need to do. Where to begin? Where to begin? I think I'll start. Oh, let me just see about that armor, actually.
So, you have returned. What is your desire?
Great.
Show me what you have for sale.
So, you have returned. What is your desire?
Show me what you have for sale.
Okay, let me talk with him.
So, you have returned. What is your desire?
I need more info about Valvenor.
And you have decided that I have a sympathetic face. It's the story of my life. Talent worthy of a king's ransom, but surrounded by cretins who only seek that which is free.
Do you know the woman who runs the healing house?
Oh, of course. She's all one hears about lately. Everyone here will tell you that she's a courageous woman, fighting a noble battle. Everyone but me. The woman's insane. There are already far too many mouths to feed in this camp. Clearly, she's fully aware of this, yet she stubbornly insists on making things worse.
And the Red Scribes? Know anything about them?
Oh, certainly. A boring bunch of fusspots, spreading science and preaching the good word while never suspecting that anyone might see through their little game. Well, at least they're kind enough to leave me alone. Unlike some.
It's not often you see an elf blending in with other cultures. Are there many of you here in Valvenor?
To my knowledge, I was the only one. That is, until Prince Arundel and his acolyte arrived. Does that pose a problem for you?
Not at all.
Well, it does for me. His Majesty the Prince of Imbeciles is going to bring us nothing but trouble.
How curious. I was given to understand that insulting the Sovereign was a crime, even for an elf exiled to live among the humans.
How curious. I was given to understand that the Sovereign in question was in a coma, and that you are in no position to be lecturing me. We both know that good King Arundel IV is an idiot, and by his inaction he's condemned the entire Elven nation, and possibly all the others as well.
What can you tell me about the steward?
Oh, don't expect me to say anything bad about Bertolf Chambriad. I'm not always in agreement with him, but I can see that he knows his business. And he keeps the village relatively safe.
Let's talk about something else. The steward said there was a beast attacking the villagers.
This is what one hears, yes. Something is wandering through the swamps, devouring the reckless. The saddest part is that it's often the guards who end up lost, along with their equipment. Meanwhile, we are overrun with refugees who serve no useful purpose at all.
I'll be back.
That's an excellent idea.
Alright, so he didn't really tell me anything useful. I did like the banter between the two of them though. Alright, let's craft some spolders. Spolders of the Warlock. As useful as those might sound, they're not that great. It's just interruption resistance. I'm instead going to get physical resistance. Even though they don't look that great. Yes. I like how the armor actually changes and looks depending on how you upgrade it. Mercenary's helmet. Yes, sure. Yeah, it looks pretty decent.
Do I have to spill it out, or should I just put my boot in your arse? Clear off!
Would you just shut your stupid mouth for 2 seconds, please? The steward sent me here to help you.
Oh, that's all I need. Don't he think I got enough on my plate? Now he sends me some ore blade from God's know where. Hey, as long as it ain't me is paying for you, hey? You want to help? Knock yourself out. But I warn you, there's plenty to do.
Get to the point before I set your breath on fire.
All right, take it easy. No need to get nasty, eh? You want to help? Yes or no?
Keep talking.
Well, for a start, you could try and find one of my patrols that's gone missing. At first, I thought maybe one of those half-wits was sleeping it off under a tree somewhere. But it's been a while now. Maybe something bad happened to him in the swamp.
I guess I could go back and check.
What a coincidence. That's exactly what I was going to ask you. After that, well, I suppose a pro like you, I guess you would be useful helping out the sentries. It won't be luxury. I don't know if you've seen what we're supposed to fight with, but wow, if you can have a word with your quartermaster to see what he can do for my lads, you have my blessing. The benediction of a drunk. Better and better.
It's what all us fucking mercenaries dream of. All right, I'll see what I can do.
Right, we may be living in the arsehole of Virgil, but being armed like a bunch of tramps we can do without. And while you're at it, when you've been to the forge, you'll probably feel like letting off steam a bit. Why don't you go and take it out on my lads?
What do you mean?
Kick their arses so they can't sit down and get drunk instead of patrolling. And show them a couple of tricks while you're at it. A bit of training. Couldn't do no harm.
Your men can't afford to keep their thumbs in their asses. It's time to teach them how to use those weapons.
Knock yourself out, Payblade. I'll go and shake them awake. Perfect. I couldn't have done better. I reckon the lesson is gonna leave a few marks this time. Have you got time to go again, while they're still warmed up?
Sure, why not?
Why not? Let's go.
Okay. So, let's train a few imbeciles. Yes. By kicking their asses. Oh. Well, apparently they killed me. It's like, oh yeah, you're just gonna leave them unconscious, whereas they will kill me. Orbs of defense. Okay. And that berserker. Okay. Oh. That's a bit stupid, actually. It's like, yeah, look at me, I can parry from every possible direction. Yeah. It's not bad. Granted, I probably shouldn't put him in melee, considering he is an archer. Alright, second group defeated.
Even so, they are making progress. If you whack them enough times, they remember how to defend themselves. Are you up for giving them one last lesson?
Sure.
One last lesson.
Why not? And let's go in there. Well, since I killed an enemy, health resistance is... Oh, come on. He's not useful in melee. Right, that's it.
Nice job. Of course, they'll hate you for a while, but what they learned here today will save their lives one day.
My pleasure. I like this way of saving lives.
Sure, I bet you do. What do we have here? Besides talking with him, nothing. Alright.
Haven't you anything better to do than bother me?
Hang on a sec. The steward himself sent me here to give you a hand.
Wonderful. I've been after him for months to get me some help, and he sends me an armed ape. You practice medicine, I presume? Your tools seem rather barbaric.
The tools are fine. That's not to say I don't get a little barbaric sometimes.
Only sometimes.
Believe me, I've already used them to do a little surgery on a few evil tongues, and nobody ever complained once.
We're here to help her, not intimidate her.
For the moment, you're not doing either.
For someone with so much to do, you sure do talk a lot. So let's get this figured out, because I've got some shit to do too. Either you need help and you want me to handle it, or you don't, and you deal with it yourself.
Well then, I suppose I have nothing to lose. In fact, there is something that you could doubtless do for me. I'm worried about my assistant Haymon. I haven't seen him for a while now, and I fear he might have gone into the swamps to look for the plants I need. We're forced to venture further and further in to find the plants we need. With all that's been going on lately, I forbade him from going back out alone, but the boy is nothing if not stubborn.
Stubborn? Yeah, I hate people like that.
Please find him. He's a good boy. He's done nothing but help others since he arrived. Without him, the House of Healing would be a house of death.
If I'm gonna be slogging through the swamps anyway, might as well take a look around and try to bring back the plants you need too, right? You got any drawings or descriptions?
Yes, that's a good idea. I would be grateful to you. But above all, try to bring back my assistant Haymon in one piece. He is your priority. For the rest, basically, I need food, medicinal herbs, and of course, I wouldn't say no to a few pre-prepared potions. All of our stock seems to disappear so quickly. I'll give you the parchment that I made for Haymon to help you recognize the specimens I need. He knows them by heart now, after so many trips.
Right. Plants, potions, chow, and one assistant. If I come across any Elven tea, would you like a cup of that too?
That would be lovely.
Have you heard any rumors about a beast wandering around in the marshes?
They are not rumors. There is something in these marshes, and I have a patient in a coma that confirms it.
Something? What does that mean? Where can I find it?
I don't know exactly what it is. The wounds don't resemble anything seen around here before. What you seek is large, powerful, and obviously has enormous claws at its disposal. The wounded man was found west of the swamps, crawling towards the village. If you really wish to fall upon that beast, that would be a good place to start. But bear in mind the possibility that it may be the beast which falls upon you.
I'd like to see what you have to sell.
What the fuck? What in the fuck? How can they be so bloody expensive? Anyway, I could sell this. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna use it. I suppose I could use it for guard breaker. Huh. Well, it's quite an interesting thing. Anyway, I'm going to equip Pain.
Vulcan, unless I miss my guess. What brings you here?
Let's talk about
your healing house.
About your reserves. No, let's change it.
I'd like some information about the village and its inhabitants.
Why help the refugees?
Who are these refugees you're helping?
They are the outcasts of the war. Those who didn't have the privilege of dying in combat, or who lack knowledge of the arts of the forge. No one wants them. If I don't help them, nobody will.
It seems like a lot of effort for nothing. Our resources could be put to better use. It's sad to say, but if these refugees can't contribute anything, we should probably concentrate on the ones who can help us all survive.
But it's not everyone, obviously. You're just as contemptible as the steward is.
What did you do before the war?
Before the war? Please don't tell me you're naive enough to believe that this war only started 10 years ago.
That's what everybody says.
I come from Shorelin, a faraway land in the north that the Ice Lords probably wiped off the map some time ago. Because no one is left to write the history books, other than a fanatical cult more interested in arcane magic than in human science or medicine. The fact remains that the war is far more ancient than that. For as long as I can remember, I have always known war. I was only just learning to walk when Marshal Winters invaded my homeland.
I have heard of this Ice Lord. Winters the Bloodthirsty.
I wandered along the main roads for years, always heading further south, staying just ahead of the advancing Deadwalkers. First with my sister and a family of neighbors. Then just with my sister. Then all alone. Until the day I met the man who would become my husband. A remarkable elf who taught me how to heal and how to love and help those near me. But after years of fleeing and ending up here in this isolated village so in need of healers, we decided to put down roots. Roan died 8 months ago, leaving me alone and in charge of the House of Healing that we had built together.
So what do you think of the steward?
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Too late if you ask me.
If I were you, I'd be wary of him. He is not as honorable as he would have you believe. Know that before the war, he was just a lackey, bowing and scraping before all the people of power that passed by. Due to a superior's mistake, he thinks he's in charge now. He's a latecomer, nothing but an opportunist, ready to do anything to keep his little piece of power. I've had the misfortune of experiencing his sense of priorities. When he no longer has a use for you, he lets you know you're not welcome.
We're at war. The situation is not easy. He seems to be doing all right.
At what price? By herding refugees like animals? By not giving them even the minimum to survive? By eliminating those who oppose him?
Who oppose him?
I didn't found the House of Healing alone. It was with my husband, Ron. He was not a great warrior, nor a renowned strategist. His only gift was for healing. He was my teacher before becoming my husband. The steward welcomed us with open arms. We took care of his men, his villagers. Then the refugees started arriving in greater numbers. Too many for Chambriad, who ended up closing the gates and pretending that these people simply didn't exist. Ron was furious. He tried to make him understand that he would heal everyone, no matter what. And if the self-proclaimed leader of the village wasn't capable of taking care of anyone other than himself, that he would do it. A few days later, I came back from the swamps to discover Ron in agony in the healing house. He had been poisoned.
You think this was the work of the steward?
Who else would have reason to kill him? Everyone loved him and counted on him. Chambriad thought that without him, the healing house would close and that the number of refugees would diminish naturally. Unfortunately for him, I will continue my husband's good work even unto my dying breath. He gave me an even greater reason to keep going.
This healing house is a waste of time and resources. These people are but dead weight.
I'll take my leave. See you later.
Okay. I have to agree with that notion, actually. Believe it or not, I think... Look, they're fighting a war of annihilation. Understand that situation. Oh, it's easy, oh, you should help everyone. But if your entire race is going to be wiped out, if you don't have enough to feed people and there's an army moving to kill everyone, then keep people who are useful alive. Simple as that.
Oh there, Powder Man. You still didn't manage to blow yourself up?
See you later.
Alright, not useful. Let's talk with the quartermaster of the company. I doubt I'll get what I need, but...
Gods, these people are amateurs. This village is about as secure as your granny's underwear. Not a single watchman at his post. It's worse than I'd imagined.
I'll deal with this, Captain.
Good. I'm counting on you. Remember, if you screw this up, We'll all be joining the ranks of the Deadwalker army as soon as their scouts find this place.
Captain, just fought a duel with Ranvil, the guardian of the village. And before you start yelling about wasted energy, I want you to know that it was him that insisted on it. He's one hell of a fighter. He hits you like he was chopping down a tree, and he can take a blow and shake it off. He wants to join the Blades.
I have the feeling that every new recruit I take on these days is headed straight for the cemetery. But considering the losses we've suffered, I suppose I can't refuse. Bring him here to me. I'll check him out.
The villagers told me about a beast. I have to find its lair.
Hawk talked to me about that a while ago. He said he'd found some suspicious-looking tracks that led back to the northern swamps.
I'll go and follow the tracks. Where's Hawk?
No idea. I sent him off to scout that part of the swamp, but he hasn't reported back yet.
Captain, I wanted to ask... Do you think the company is going to make it?
Of course. The Blades have always come through. They've existed for more than 2 centuries, and they won't give up now. Not during my watch. But to tell you the truth, we're not looking too fresh. Not with the losses we took back at the temple. And as for new recruits, it's been what? A year or more since we found anyone worthwhile.
Most of us were recruited when the war began, and there aren't many of us left. The only available recruits now are either cowards, deserters, or kids.
If we're gonna hold this village, we're going to have to do it using the locals, even though most of them look like they couldn't organize a party in a brewery. As soon as we've recovered a bit, we'll break camp and head for Carroll Pass. I already sent some of the Blades ahead to see if they could find any new recruits. With a bit of luck, they'll come up with something better than one-armed, no-legged trolley rollers.
Why did we fall back to the swamp?
The Red Scribes knew of this place and said that we'd be safe here for a while. And apart from a few repulsive beasties creeping around outside the walls, it's actually quite peaceful. I don't think I'd buy a house here, though, would you? So we'll heal our wounded, try and learn what's happening to you, and then get the hell out of here.
Do you really think we should be trusting these Red Scribes?
Vulcan, I'm not going to try and make this pretty. These are tough times. Thanks to this cursed war, our list of potential clients is shrinking faster than my dick when I jump into an ice bath. I get it, that after what happened in the temple, you'd like to send them all packing. This whole demon business is complicated. But we are mercenaries after all is said and done. We're not a charity. We're only as good as our clients. And you know, even if they did screw things up back there, they were right to try and find some way to beat the Ice Lords. What's the alternative? Lie down and wait to freeze?
Thanks to them, we all nearly bought it back at the temple. I'm not even convinced it was an accident.
You have a point. And since we don't want to finish up as a pile of bodies under a snowdrift, we're going to keep a sharp eye on them from now on.
You wanted the Freeborn Blades to help the villagers. Is that still happening?
As long as we have to stay here, yes. Why?
I'm leaving.
Okay. Oh, still need more food. Alright. So... Last assistant. Chapter 1, A Village of Refugees, The Disappeared Guards. Alright. So let's see. I'm just gonna go very quickly here. Oh wait. Through here. And then I will... yes. Enter the village hall, even though the entrance is wide open. Makes sense? The
knight heard talk of a troubling event that happened during the meeting between the mercenary and the steward.
Yeah, the short version is that I have a demon living inside of me.
A demon? The knight has never heard of such a creature. Should he be worried?
For now, it's just a voice in my head that doesn't seem to want to hurt me. But if I start spitting fire and attacking everybody, I'm counting on you to do what has to be done, okay?
The knight is honored by the trust placed in him. He will not betray it.
I have a few questions I need to ask you. You mentioned the Order of the Ember Knights. What is that?
It is the order that the knight belongs to. They are the surviving warriors and honored soldiers of other orders that were lost during this war.
Oh, so it's kind of the Order of the Orphan Knights.
This name does not sound well to his ears.
Right. So you haven't always been an Ember Knight?
No. He was first a defender of the Algander Islands. Then he was a Templar of the Order of Burgians, and then a Brother of the Rock, and then a Summer Tracker.
So all of those orders have been lost. That must have been hard.
He has lost many valorous companions in battle, and his heart is heavy with scars.
I'll bet. So what is the creed of the Ember Knights?
The knight has long searched for the answer. Now he knows it. To seek a glorious death and carry as many enemies as possible away with him.
That's kind of... depressing. If you follow me, we should be able to find a chance for you to get your beautiful death. Just try not to commit suicide at the first available opportunity.
The knight will wait for this moment.
So what did you abandon when you entered into the Order of the Ember Knights?
The knight has already said he does not wish to speak of this.
And you want me to just trust you? You realize this raises more questions than answers. What are the terrible things that you've done that you can't even talk about?
These insinuations have the flavor of insult.
Listen, we're probably all going to die in the next few hours. And you're talking to a mercenary who's seen just about everything.
Very well. Know then that the knight once had a family.
I suppose they must be dead. I'm sorry for your loss.
It was long ago. 15 years have passed since his wife and his 2 daughters were taken from him.
The Deadwalker army?
Yes. They were among the first victims when the Ice Lords attacked the Algander Islands. They were thought to be safe with the other women, far behind the front lines. But the Deadwalkers broke through our lines and stole away the innocents. The knight searched the enemy lines for days, but when he found them, he had to fight what the sorcerers had created from his wife and his children. A dread creature, multiple and monstrous. This was the most difficult fight of all his life.
You're not from around here. Where do you come from?
The knight was born in the Algander Islands. It is a proud and savage place where the struggle against the wind and vicious neighbors makes a man strong. The Ice Lords attacked the islands more than 15 years ago, long before the rest of Vertiel knew that the world was now at war. The clans were always fighting, but they fought together as brothers when the islands were threatened. And as a defender of Algander, The knight had the honor to be one of the first to fight, and with his brothers for a long time he repulsed the invader. Some of the clan chiefs wanted to make peace with the Ice Lords, but the Ice Lords betrayed them, and the clans were decimated. Their numbers were sorely missed during the following battles, and in a few short months the war was almost lost. The knight was sent by the surviving clan chiefs to the mainland to find allies. But time is a cruel master. When he returned to his homeland, the islands were buried beneath the ice.
So how did you end up in the village of Valvanor?
When he saw that all his kin were slain, the knight was hungry for revenge, and sought out battles to bathe his pain in blood. But in every battle, he lost more of his brothers in arms, and faced an enemy that only grew stronger. The orders were always hazardous, with betrayals common and errors never-ending. Faced with these eternal difficulties and death, always more death, the knight lost his hope, and so he left the field of battle. He decided instead to take care of the war's victims, to protect them, even though he knew it could only last a short time. It is a final mission without any other hope but to give comfort and relief to a few innocent souls.
What do you think of the Red Scribes?
Their studies have made them blind. Only knowledge interests them. They show contempt for all else. Today they have the ear of the last surviving warriors. They do not deserve this honor, and their words are hollow.
Let's change the subject. I talked with the captain. He wants to see you. Come on, follow me. The mercenary salutes you, knight. I have a few questions I need to ask you. Let's change the subject.
Okay, so I'm going to take him to join the Blades. Although I did actually want to take the elf. And then I will... what else can I do around here? Yes, it's been a long video of just talking and talking and talking with people. Not much action, but that's how it is in an RPG. You have a lot of dialogue. And it's not a bad thing, mind you. It's night. The day-night cycle in this game could use some work. Especially when it comes to speed. Alright. Yes. So, hold on a second. Yes, gemstone. Useful item. Captain?
Vulcan, I do love our little chats, but shouldn't you be doing something?
Yes.
Captain, this is Randall. He talks funny, but he can kick ass.
So, it's Randall, is it?
That is the knight's name. How can he prove his valor to you?
Alrighty then. I'm glad you warned me that he talks a bit funny. Right then, laddie. All you have to do is fight a duel with me. And do your best.
It will be an honor to fight with a man who they say has never been beaten.
If you think you can flatter me into letting you off lightly, forget about it. Like I said, do your best.
The knight hopes that he will be the first to vanquish him. He will not hold back his blows.
That's more like it. Let's see what you've got, laddie. Not bad. Not bad at all. Welcome to the Freeborn Blades, my boy. We were starting to be seriously short of fighters worthy of the name, and you fight like a man. though you're a ways off from beating me. Vulcan! He's your recruit. You can take care of him. Go on, away with you.
Welcome to the Freeborn Blades, friend. Don't take it so hard. The entry fight is a humiliation we all had to go through. Me included.
The captain deserves his post and his reputation. He is an exceptional warrior. The knight will be proud to serve under his orders. After such a combat, the knight will need to rest for a moment. He asks that his friend, and now brother, come to find him when he has need.
Okay. See you later.
Well, isn't that wonderful? Oh, great. So now I have to fight again. Now I have to fight again. Now I have to run again all the way back there to get the companion. I'll just grab the elf though. It wasn't easy for a captain to win though, it seems. Okay. I don't get why there's a loading screen here. It can't be that large of an area. Boy, so why do we need the loading screen? Xbox 360. And PlayStation 3 actually. Not just I'm gonna grab that fucking elf.
Relmar, you got a minute?
Yes?
I need your expertise. Will you come with me?
Of course I will. Lead the way.
Okay, give me a party select screen in this fucking game. So, back into the swamp then. Back into the swamp. I believe we can kill the medic, by the way, in order to get rid of her. Though a healer might be useful. Or would she? Good question. Would she be useful? Very good question.
What can I do for you, Vulcan?
I'll take my leave. See you later.
Okay. Let's go. Village of refugees. Find the lair of the werebeast. Alright then. Let there be light. Or flame. Southern delta of the swamp. I think I know where the lair of the beast is actually. But anyway, I have to kill a couple of queens, do a bunch of stuff as well. Oh. It's a different area actually. Let's find that assistant then. Well, what is it gonna be? Oh, you. Is that the queen? I can't attack it. Might be a queen, might not be a queen. Yes. Just kill that one. Alright. And it's done. For a moment. No, they're not queens. I guess there will be... The queens are more difficult enemies. It's turning day already. Oh, damn. Well, I need to go... Should I even go? Eh. Wait. Some tainted blood. And there's some lag here as well. Isn't that wonderful? That said... Find it funny that... Oh! Alright. Oh shit! I'm poisoned. I'm poisoned. Okay. That's gotta be some powerful enemy of one description or another. What the? Well, fuck. So much for the usefulness of my armor. Probably should have upgraded in a different way. No. Oh. Oh, shit. And those are annoying bastards. Chrysalids. Yeah, let's make floating enemies. Easy. Easy. Did he die? Yes, he did die, I think. Well, didn't, not so much did. Fuck. Yeah, and let's throw enemies who can stun lock you in narrow areas. Alright. Come on. Fuck. Again. Damn that bastard. Piss off. Oh, man, those projectiles. Yes, let's not. Stay the fuck away, you dumb bitch. Okay. Nah. Trying to find an opening. It's not gonna happen. Could retreat, I guess. Come on. One enemy at a time, not a problem. Two enemies at a time. That's a problem. There we go. Get up. Come on, get up. I have all the time in the world for you. Wait. Alright. And... Tainted blood. Oh, wonderful. Let's focus on the... apprentice. Oh, what the... What in the fuck? is this? Kind of fucked up, really. And that way is... or not. Can climb up. So now impossible to climb cliffs. Alright, Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, there's a donation link in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more.